I know you're all used to see me standing in this podium the last few weeks. I'm sorry, I'm presenting myself over and over. Today I will be representing the Clean Shipping Alliance. And without any further ado, I would like to introduce the Alliance to you, since I am the Executive Director since 2021. The Clean Shipping Alliance represents a group of leading shipping companies. So in other words, we are an association of ship owners and operators, not an association of associations. We're taking care of abatement technology in general, but in specific, we're looking into exhaust gas cleaning systems and for their compliance in accordance to the IMO 2020 rules. Now, some people may ask, why do we have abatement technology? Do we have any arguments against scrappers? Because that's actually what we're representing here, and what's the future of that technology. Now, why abatement is simple. You cannot jump from one place to another without going through transition. The date 2020 was a drop dead date by the IMO, the Annex 6 of MARPOL, and the reason for that, it was that for about 7 to 10 years, we were discussing how to reduce the sulfur in the atmosphere. Actually, the first time I came across the so-called acid rain was in 1995 by Sweden. It was really making a big fuss about it. Canada as well. And we came down to 2011 and 2007 to decide what to do. That regulation allows you to do two things. Either you use a low sulfur fuel, or you can use abatement technology, for example, or not for example, the only one that exists, which is the exhaust gas cleaning system, where you're scrubbing the sulfur off the exhaust gas. Now, that regulation says also that if there is no availability for fuel, the appointment or the actual date of entry into force would be the 2025. We came into conclusion that there was availability, and it was actually came into conclusion that without the abatement technology, there would not be enough availability. Therefore, since that time, on the 1st of January, the regulation came into force, and that reminds you something. It was just 1 month before we started running and closing ourselves inside because of COVID. And because of that, we had the regulation actually applying correctly. We had actually, sorry for using my phone, but I cannot sit down there. Despite the impact of the COVID-19, we transitioned very nicely. We had around 4,000 ships which are currently fitted with this technology, and for ship owners allows them to continue the availability and the stability of the heavy fuel oil. Now, continuing on that one, we can say that the scrubbers have played a crucial role in easing the transition to the IMO 2020, and many companies were able to achieve the smooth transition in 2020 thanks to this technology. Now, can we compare the VLSFO and the MGO to this technology? The answer is yes, because the technology actually lowers the sulfur much better than the actual fuels do. But one of the things that we have to take into account is the point 2 that I have on that slide. I don't want you to read them. The organizers will distribute them to you, but it's about CO2. This is all this panel is going to discuss afterwards, and this is all we're discussing the last few years. We are much better if we take from the wake to the well. IMO never discussed the matter until last year, and it's coming into force, and we have to find out it's not about reducing the CO2 on the unit, but how we reduce the footprint along the whole process. You have a very nice car which is electric, thank you very much, but they use coal to produce the electricity that you charge the battery. So as we say in Cypriot, we're back at square one. So in essence, we want a better awareness about the technology, and we also want to have science behind it. The reason we want to have the science behind it is to make sure that we have no misunderstandings, and we do rushing into new regulations without actually knowing what we're doing. Now, we have a number of arguments against scrubbers. One of them is that we are actually affecting the marine environment. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, scrubbers exist for a long time. They haven't been invented for the ship. They have been invented for other purpose on shore. And we do not have real science telling us that we harm the environment. And continuing on those arguments, we can say that many ships have been operating scrubbers around the world, but we have seen no problems. We have commissioned a number of studies that prove more or less that we don't do any harm to the environment. And we do not believe that we can take decisions on the precautionary principle or the precautionary approach. You cannot go to the market and say you cannot have a specific painkiller simply because I might believe that is harming your health. You need at least the FDA to say so. And the precautionary principle is even more strong than the precautionary approach, but both of them, they ending up taking out of the market certain things without really backing up the science. So there are some regulatory challenges, and we face them in some ports, especially with the open loop scrubbers, but that's within the port. And therefore we engage in cooperation, we engage with our members, we engage in discussion with these ports to try to educate them in certain education, provide information about studies, and provide to them how is not harming their environment. If it does harm their environment, we have proof for that, we will be the first ones to take it out. Now, these problems we're facing are usually within ports, because those that they want to extend it beyond that, they have to change the convention. If you're a party to MARPOL Annex 6, you have to obey what the convention says. As long as it is in the convention, we cannot do otherwise. But what's the future for scrubbers? Do we have any future of them? The answer is yes, because now we remain as the most popular option at the moment, and this study is about the 30th of August 2021, 71% of the large container ships, they have scrubbers, but actually there was a study released a few weeks ago which shows that we are the number one, the scrubbers are growing and many new ships are actually utilizing the technology. In the very near future, you have to meet the 2030 and 2050 targets of the IMO. I have to admit, these are no regulations, they are targets, and it's a pathway that the IMO decided. You will need transition. You cannot go from one date from the fossil fuels to the non-fossil fuels, especially when we don't know what that fuel is. The maximum I can predict is that you're going to have a mix, and you're going to pick and choose. Now, I don't want to have a vessel that this day goes with ammonia, tomorrow goes with hydrogen, and the next day it flies around with battery. So, until the time comes, you need to have transition, transitional ways to do it. One of them is to carbon capture and storage the carbon. Now, when I heard the first time in 2006, I thought we were talking about spaceships. The answer is there, it's possible. Excuse me, and Wärtsilä and others, they have made research, you can find it there. And in order to go there to capture the carbon, you have to take out the sulfur. So the scrubber we have today will remain. So with one shot, you get two birds, or whatever we say, two birds with one shot. So in essence, yes, there is future, and it will be on the benefit of the operators if we utilize that technology. And I'm telling you, that technology is not forever. It's a transitional technology. As soon as we have abundant fuel to cover the industry, then we will not need them. Now, I don't want to take more of your time. My clock is ticking, but I will end up with this. As CSA, we're working with all regulatory and port authorities around the world to ensure fact-based scientific approach towards the EGCS technology. At present, we believe that the technology is most widely available and effective sulfur and carbon abatement can be achieved. And we are put all our efforts towards to educating the users, educating also the other people that they have some doubts, but also we provide information to the International Maritime Organization, and also keep in mind that we keep the most up-to-date database to show you where scrubbers are not allowed with imports or allowed with imports, or what restrictions there are. Our database provides comments with the exact legislation that covers that banning. Without any ado, thank you very much, and I can take a question. Thank you.